Alright guys, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. This March Madness tournament has been it's been pretty bad. Like, it's been bad. I had high hopes for this tournament headed into this tournament. I really did. The conference tournaments were lit. The last weekend was lit. Like, we got that not Texas A&M, Alabama LSU game. We got Kansas, Texas. We got Duke, North Carolina. 3 phenomenal games to head into the postseason. Then we got phenomenal conference tournaments. We got, I mean, sure, the last couple of games were blowouts, but whatever. We got Texas A&M, Florida. We got Virginia Tech, Clemson. We got all types of games like that. Can we name one game? One of the last 49 games that I've been playing. Right now, Texas, Purdue's going on. What else is going on? Texas, Purdue. And right now, I think that... Oh, Miami, Houston. Not Miami, Houston. Miami, Auburn is going on. Arizona, TCU is going to play tonight. But out of the 49 games that have been played so far, I did the math. 7 of them have been 10-plus point blowouts. 15 of them have been 5-plus point blowouts. 9 of them have been 20-plus point blowouts. 9 20-plus point blowouts, 5 15-plus point blowouts, and 7 10-plus point blowouts. Now, if you do the math, out of the 48 games, I did 48 because I didn't calculate the 49th. 43% of the games have all been 10-plus point blowouts. Gonzaga, this one's understandable. Gonzaga, Georgia State. That should be a blowout. This one, Boise State, Memphis, no. Chillin'. That game's chillin'. Why did Notre Dame beat... Like, come on. Another 10-plus point blowout that should not have happened. This was actually a really good game. This is an understandable one. This is an understandable one. This is an understandable one. Marquette just laid an egg in this game. Like, that was... I was high on Marquette. That was embarrassing. Indiana, I think they should have put up a bigger fight. A better fight. Whatever. This was the most disappointing game of... I was very disappointed in this game. This is understandable. So we have 4 understandables so far. This is just embarrassing, Kentucky St. Peter's. That's just embarrassing. This is understandable. That wasn't even a 20 point... That's understandable, though. So 5 understandables. Wisconsin, that was a close game. See, USC Miami, that was a close game in the second half. That first half, Miami was killing USC. So that score, that score's a lot closer than it should have been. Or than it really was. So we have 5 understandables. This is an understandable one, 6. This is another understandable one, that's 7. That should not have been a blowout. Okay, 8 understandable blowouts. Okay, there we go. That was way too close for... I mean, I think Chattanooga's a solid team. That one, that's not understandable. Yeah, that's not understandable. This one, that's not understandable at all. This one's understandable. So we have 9 understandable blowouts. So if I'm doing the math correctly, 21 minus 9, we still got 12 games that should not have been blowouts. Let's even take a look at the second round. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any understandable blowouts. This should not have been a blowout. The St. Mary's versus UCLA. That one I'm not going to count as a blowout, Murray State, St. Peter's. Providence, Richmond, that should not have been a blowout. There's none. So there's still 12 blowout games. And I did the math also. How many one-possession games we had? We talked about one of them, USC Miami. That's one. But we had 2 others. We had 2 other one-possession games. Michigan State Davidson, but it was not a one-possession blow. It was not a one-possession game. Davidson was hitting some amazing shots, but it was like a more 5-6 point game. And just, yeah, it's been in Illinois, Chattanooga. Illinois, that one, I'll give you that one. That was a good game. That was a good game. The first half, Illinois was struggling. This was the only great game of the tournament. Illinois, Chattanooga. The only great game. I guess, if we're counting first 4, no game has surpassed Rutgers Notre Dame. No game in this tournament has surpassed Rutgers Notre Dame. None whatsoever. And you would think with 49 games played so far, there'd be a great game. Gonzaga Memphis was a battle. This was close. This is probably no, Illinois Chattanooga, that's third. This is the second best game of the tournament right here. Gonzaga Memphis. This had potential. This almost was the best game of the tournament. I put this as like fifth. This was almost the best game of the tournament. Michigan State and Duke. That was a great game up till the very end. This game sucked. This game sucked. This game's still going on. I'm hoping that tonight, Miami, Auburn, Texas, Purdue, Arizona, TCU, just prove me wrong. And like Talladega, shut up. I'm really hoping so. I've been disappointed. I've just been disappointed. It's called madness. It's called March Madness for a reason. And let's just take a look at the Cinderellas this year. Let's take a look. So we thought New Mexico State, that was a pretty popular one. Vermont almost beat Arkansas, so we'll take that. But UAB, we thought we were going to put up a much better fight. They did not. Loyola Chicago, I thought they'd still be playing into next weekend. I really did. They couldn't hit a three-pointer to save their lives. So they lost. That's disappointing. Iowa, it's just been a turn. We got St. Peter's and Iowa State. I'm not a huge fan of Iowa State. I'm really not. St. Peter's, I'm not going to lie, is pretty lit to watch. So I'll accept St. Peter. Like, that's a fun 15 seed Cinderella. That's a fun 15 seed Cinderella. It really is. But this game's going to be good. North Carolina, UCLA. There's no, like Loyola Chicago of 2018. Oral Roberts so that's why I'm taking St. Peter's. Houston's a pretty interesting story. There's no, interesting Coach K. It's retirement, I guess. It's just that this March Madness felt off. It's been more like March Bordness. It really has been. I'm going to be optimistic for the Sweet 16. It's looking like we're going to have solid games. Gonzaga, Arkansas should not be close. Texas Tech, Duke, I think is going to be close. North Carolina, UCLA, is going to be close. I'm really hoping St. Peter's puts up a fight. Either of these two teams should knock off Iowa State. Providence, Kansas, this could be a sleeper upset right here. Providence, they're playing some of the best basketball. I mean, sure, they've only played against South Dakota State and Richmond, but this could be a sleeper game. Michigan, Villanova, I don't know how I feel about Michigan. I really don't. Let's see how they do in the Sweet 16 before I say anything. Houston, Arizona, that could be an upset. I'm thinking Houston wins that game. But I'm going to be optimistic for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 next weekend. I really am. I'm just disappointed in this March Madness. Teams have either completely collapsed, like Kentucky and Iowa, who I thought were going to be in the Elite 8. Yeah, I thought Kentucky, they had an easy road to the Sweet 16. They had an easy road, but they sold. Iowa, yeah. Easy road to the Sweet 16. Easy road. They sold. Teams didn't show up. Marquette did not show up, which they probably would have lost. They probably lost to Baylor. In Indiana, they probably would have lost. They would have lost to UCLA. And it was teams also couldn't hit shots, like Loyola Chicago, who realistically they beat Villanova today. They beat Michigan. And they're playing Houston or Arizona in the Elite 8. And they could very easily win those games, and they're in the Final Four. So if they knock off Ohio State, I very much feel that they have not easy, because Villanova would be tough. They have a kind of walk through to the Final Four. Not walk through, but they can walk to the Final Four. They can get to the Final Four. And Virginia Tech. If they beat Texas, I do think they outshoot Purdue. I think they probably lose to Kentucky. But they beat St. Peter's, I think. So, realistically, if they win their game, they have a solid route to the Elite 8, because they'll end up losing to UCLA. I understand that there's going to be blowouts. I really do. But this tournament was hyped up so much. I hyped myself up for this tournament so much. I really did. The refs haven't been good in these games. Like, unless you're Gonzaga, Duke. The refs are not going to give you any favors. Villanova, the refs are not going to give you any favors. They're really not. It's just I'm very upset about this tournament. Thought this tournament was going to be a lot better. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have high hopes. Let's think positive. We're gonna get some of the best teams in the nation playing against each other. Let's hope for great games, and let's just hope that we get some quality basketball, because this weekend it sure has been sparse. Talladega signing out. Laters.